comedy clubs and casinos all over the nation. Give it up for Mr. Billy Bazaar. Give it up for Steven, everybody. You'll have some great local talent here, so make sure you guys keep supporting live comedy, okay? Something magical happened today. Up until today, French fries have never made me shit my pants. But Taco Bell stepped its game up, so they got me. I was wearing different pants earlier. Speaking of Taco Bell, I read something online that disturbed me. Taco Bell was voted the #1 most healthiest fast food restaurant on the planet. No, I call bullshit on that one. Because to do experiments, you have to do science. And Taco Bell food doesn't stand anybody long enough to do science. It's like, if you're gonna make shit up, just say it was #2. It's another shit show, there you go. Speaking of wonderful cuisines, McDonald's recently had the McRib back. Anybody have any of them? That's bullshit, I'm sure some of y'all did. That's all right, I ate most of them myself, so I'm always sad to see them go. My heart's not, but my stomach is. And every time that they go away, McDonald's always says they've done this for the last 14 years. Every other year when it comes back, they say, that's it. It's never coming back again. And I feel they mean that when they say it. But I think what happens, I don't think McDonald's brings back the Big Mac. I think what happens is they find a warehouse with parts in it. And they're like, we gotta get rid of this evidence. So they just lather some barbecue sauce on it. And fat asses like me eat them up, so you're welcome, McDonald's. I feel that I failed my children. My youngest, my twins, they told me for Christmas they want Kim Kardashian's new perfume that came out. And I didn't know herpes had a scent. It does. $54.99 at Nordstrom Rack. It smells like a whore. So, speaking of cologne, perfume, all that stuff, I did a show recently in Oklahoma City. And after the show, I was waiting for my Uber, and it wasn't in a great part of Oklahoma City. And I'm standing there waiting for my Uber, and I see 3 gentlemen start walking towards me, and I'm just on my phone, not paying attention to them. And then they get a little closer, and then they just stop. And I'm like, oh shit, this is how I go out. And then one of them said, hey man, we like your watch. I was like, thank you, I paid a lot of money for it. He was like, I don't think you understood what I said. We like your watch. And I was like, well, I'm about to get murdered because I'm not giving my watch to anybody. But I'm also a bitch. So I went to go get what I thought was my phone because I put it back in my pocket. But when they threatened me, I went to the other pocket, and instead of bringing my phone out, I brought out my bottle of Polo Red that I had in my pocket. And one of them screamed, holy shit, he's got bear mace! And they fucking ran away. And I followed them because I had questions like, who the hell do you guys rob? Lumberjacks? Like, what the fuck's going on? I'm not Dog the Bounty Hunter. I don't have bear mace on me. And then I tweeted Ralph Lauren, and they sent me like the big ass bottle of it. Like, You ever get jumped by a gang, show them that. But fucking bear mace. I know if you're looking at me, you're not going to believe this next statement, but I like to watch porn. Surprise. I was on the road recently in Tampa, and I like, if the venue doesn't put us up in a condo or something like that, I usually try to get a hotel room that has great Wi-Fi and free lotion. They're not going to pay me for this, but Holiday Inn Express always hooks me up. I'll just put it that way. So I was happy. The show went great. I was missing my wife, and I was like, it's date night for Billy. So I put the mood lighting on and laid down and opened up my laptop, got out the cucumber lotion that they gave me. It was time to make some pickles. So I did something you should never do on a porn site. I don't care which one you go to, you don't do it. It's a mistake. Instead of putting in what I like, I just hit random. Don't ever do that. Ever. Because the algorithm that chooses those scenes has a fucked up sense of humor. And all of a sudden, a scene popped up and I immediately knew this was one of those new porn scenes. It wasn't one of those like where the stepsister gets stuck in the washing machine. I wasn't in Alabama, so that was... But instead, it was more disturbing than that. Because both performers, male and female, had no hair on their body. Anywhere. And that was creepy as shit. My mind started wandering into some dark ass places. I was like, is this a porn remake of that shitty movie from the 90s, Powder? Usually nobody's seen that movie. Thank you very much. And then I was like, did they do it for aerodynamics sake? To go faster? Obviously, I wasn't being able to focus on the problem at hand. It was a slow pitch one. So I immediately just hit random again. The world's shittiest jackpot machine. Random. And this time a scene from the 70s popped up. I lost again. But this one looked like it had a story. And I was almost out of lotion. So I was like, let's roll with it, baby. That was also a mistake. Because guess what people didn't do at all in the 70s? Shave anywhere. Anywhere. I went from hardwood floors to shag carpet in 5 minutes. It was like their crotches joined Al-Qaeda and went into hiding in caves. Please don't choke. Basically what I'm telling you is watching porn from the 70s is like watching a close-up of the cast of Duck Dynasty eat hot dogs. So. A few of you guys are going to open your mouth, I'll just let you guys catch up, because that's going to haunt your ass forever. I've actually had people tag me on Instagram and say, fuck you, Billy, I can't eat hot dogs no more. Every time I eat one, I think of Uncle Si, and I can't eat any hot dogs. That's the only character I remember. I am married. Another surprise. This won't surprise you though, it's my 4th marriage. So, baseball analogies be damned. Well, when we first met, I made sure I stayed single for a couple years, and the reason why was to mend, not my broken heart, but my broken body. I learned a valuable lesson. I should have listened to my dad years ago when he said, son, don't stick your dick in crazy. I've done that so much that my penis has an honorary degree in psychology. I named it Hannibal Lecter. Clarice. The last one was a painful lesson. Before my wife now, it was the one that really taught me. And I asked my dad for years, I was like, why do I keep doing this? And he said, well, first off, you're the common denominator. Shit. But then he was like, you ever been to Six Flags or any type of amusement park? And I was like, well, obviously, you fucking took me. And he said, remember when lines were the longest? The scary rides. Touche. Touche. But my last relationship before my wife, I learned a valuable lesson that I hope somebody in here might save their life one day. And that is this. If you are dating a woman and she has a whole bunch of stuffed animals on her bed, a lot of stuffed animals, at some point in the relationship, she's going to hit you with a car. That's a true story. I was in the parking lot. I was leaving. I didn't realize she had crept out the back fucking door and got in her car. And I'm waiting for my Uber, and I was like, man, that car's getting pretty close. Is that my Uber? Bam! Right in the leg. She clipped the shit out of me. However, she drives a Fiat, and, well, I'm big boned, so it just sort of clipped me, and I shook it off, and picked the car back up, and was like, get out of here, crazy bitch, go on. When it gets cold, I remember her. Because I'm old and I got hit. But when I met my current wife, everything was cool in the beginning. It's still cool now. I love her with all my heart. Actually, last month was our 2-year wedding anniversary, so that's cool. We're also both lazy, so I pretty much, if I don't die, we'll hit 50. So I'm confident on that. But anyway, a few months into it, she told me, she was like, I need you to know that for many years I was in a poly relationship. And I'm almost 50. And my first thought was like, are you Mormon? Or a whore? Neither. She was neither. I was so wrong on that. And because I wanted to keep her in my life, and I had plans on marrying her, I went and researched it. I bought books. And come to find out, that's not what poly's about at all. Poly's about connection. It also is beneficial for me because I'm lazy. And if she wants to go to a concert and I don't want to go, we know a guy. So she can... A lot of my friends were like, man, that's just weird. And I was like, I'll have you know, this isn't my first poly relationship. It's the first one I've known about, though. Wah, wah. Said earlier I have kids. My oldest is in college. She actually goes to Baylor University. It's on Waco, or up in Waco. I don't know where the fuck it is. Texas. I know it's Texas. And she's pretty cool. We don't talk a lot. She hit a stage in her life where she called me one day and was like, Dad, I need you to know that I identify as gender fluid. And I was like, I don't give a shit. You're my kid. I still love you. But the comic in me was like, but when I introduce you to my friends, can I say you're a shapeshifter? I shouldn't have done that at all. I haven't talked to her in 4 years, so. I'm waiting for her to shift into a phone, so. And my youngest are 9. They're also girls, which means God hates me. And I want them to grow up quick. Not because I think that they're destined for greatness. They're both like 10 years away from a fucking pole. So, their mother sucks. I'm just telling you that. And so do I. But we both have failed those children. But anyway, they're going. I want them to grow up because I want to be able to watch the movie The Shining again without having fucking nightmares. The first time they stayed at my house, it was me and my wife at the time. I woke up at 3 in the morning, I went to the bathroom, and as I walk out of the bathroom, my peripheral catches movement. And they're at the end of the goddamn hallway, holding hands, looking the other way. And I was like, I swear to God, if they say, play with me, Daddy, I'm throwing them the fuck out of the house. I went and laid back down, and my wife at the time was like, what'd you do? I was like, well, they were looking at something, so they can put them back to bed. I'm not touching it. So. And went to church the next day. They're going through a phase though that they want all the animals, and it's not like regular shit like dogs and cats. I'll get a message from you like, Dad, we want a pygmy goat. I don't give a shit what you know, you're not getting one. And then they're like, well, we want a little piglet, one that won't grow up. Nope. But recently, with Christmas coming up, they were like, can we not get an animal? Like, we have a whole list. I'm like, yeah, half this shit's not even in this country. Like, you're not getting a fucking elephant. Like, what is wrong with you? But one of the very last things was a duck. They wanted a duckling. And I was like, you know what, I think I can get that for you. Actually, in my head was like, I'm gonna make you not want one quick. So what I did was I took them to a park in downtown Tulsa. And I gave them bread. But not a lot. Just enough to piss fucking ducks off. And I sat down and I was like, let the magic begin. And they're standing there and they're throwing it, and I can see the alarm in their eyes looking in the back, like, we don't have any more bread, but there's more ducks than what we started. And I was like, keep going, they like that. 2 hospital visits later, they were like, nope, we still want a duck. I was like, all right, then you passed the test, you earned it. So I took him to a buddy who had a farm, and he has all these different animals and shit. And he had these like special duck. He crossbred like 7 different bloodlines of ducks to have these like ducks that have like different colors and shit. And I'm like, I'm not buying $1,000 duck. Where are the rejects? Like that's. And off in the corner, there was one by itself. And my first thought was like, that son of a bitch is dead. So I walked up and poked him. No, he was all cute. And I picked him up and looked at him, and sure enough, he had both eyes. He had his bill. His feet were there. I was like, hey, how much is this? So he was like, you can have it. I was like, oh, jackpot. So I was like, girls, come on over. And I could hear him trying to say, but wait. But I didn't care. I got a free fucking duck. I was happy. So I was like, look, he's not dead. And I went to set him down to prove to them. And all of a sudden, he took off like a track star. And right before he got to where he was going, he took a sharp left and right into the fucking wall. And I was like, I wonder if he'll do that again. So I picked him up. I laid him down. The wall was way down. I figured there was no way. He did it again. It was like he just sought the wall out. Pop! Right into the damn thing. So we named him NASCAR. So he's not going to last long. I wanted to name him Dale Earnhardt, but they were like, let me tell you something, if that's your moral compass, you are not going to enjoy the rest of my fucking life. So, buckle up. Anybody ever heard of the game Assassin's Creed? You really like it. I was watching my nephews play, acting like I actually cared. And so my mind starts wandering as they're playing it, and I was like, I have a perfect idea for a game. Same concept, but my game is called Creed's Assassin. So we all know where this shit's going. And the way to win the game is to kill every member of the band Creed. very slowly. But you can't win the game. That's the trick. You can't win because the lead singer, Scott Stapp, committed career suicide years ago. I told y'all motherfuckers, don't groan. I'll say this though, I feel that if the ones that groaned and the ones that didn't laugh, if he was here, he would thank you with arms wide open. So, I got your back on that one. Have you guys ever had a conversation so dumb that you looked for cameras? I don't mean like my last 15 minutes, I mean like overall, just so dumb that you were like, this can't be real. Like, where's the host at? Like, this is a game show. I did a show in Oxford, Mississippi, Ole Miss, campus of Ole Miss. And afterwards, me and the comics were visiting, selling our wares and just, talking. And this lady walked up and she proceeded to ask every one of us if we had day jobs. And the one guy lives with his parents, he doesn't have a day job. And the other guy's a lawyer. She got to meet. She goes, well, what do you do for your day job? And I was like, well, whenever I'm not doing comedy, I work with people with Down syndrome and improve their life. I figured that would shut her the fuck up. Did not. That was like permission for her, the green light, to tell me the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. And she looked at me with this, oh, by the way, side note, she's pretty mad. So just wonder about that after you hear the story. So anyway, she says, well, my grandma, actually, she said, my meemaw, growing up, told me how to tell if a baby has Down syndrome immediately. I was like, no, please fucking stop. And everybody has that devil and the angel. Like, the angel's like, just buy her a drink and walk away. You don't want to hear the rest of this. But that guy was like, go on. And she did. And she said, and this is word for word, she goes, my grandmother told me that when a baby's born, you look at their hands, and if they don't have fingerprints, then they have Down syndrome. What? I almost wanted her to repeat it because I was like, you're gonna be a doctor? And that shit haunted me for like weeks. But me and the other two comics were doing a tour, so we adopted it in our everyday vernacular. Like, if somebody did something dumb, the other one would yell, check your prints! I actually just started telling that story this week because of something that happened during Thanksgiving. My brother-in-laws are really cool. And I like to tell them, this was always just going to be a story, never a bit. And when I told them about it, then they adopted it as their vernacular. So we're going around the house, just anytime somebody does something stupid, they're like, check your prints! And it was just, I'm sure it was getting annoying. And then at dinner, I'm telling the story again. And later on, one of my nephews dropped something, and his dad goes, check your prints, son! And then my mother-in-law said, you guys have got to stop doing that. That's not funny. What? I said, why? She goes, I don't have any fingerprints. I was looking for the camera again. Like, where the fuck is the camera at? Is it on my watch? Is it on my shoe? And I was like, my first thought was like, the only people that I've ever seen without fingerprints were fucking serial killers. Like, they burn them off. So I'm definitely not the voice of my wife, ever. A buddy of mine wanted to have a party for a football game he wanted to watch, and he decided to make a Facebook event. And if I would have known that he didn't know how to fucking work Facebook, I would have helped him. But the entertainment that ensued was well worth it. So he invites not just his friends, but everybody on Facebook that he knew to an event that was titled Sausage Party My House. I wanted to message him, check your print, sir, but when I got the invite, I opened it up just to see, he's got to explain in the description, like, it can't just be that. Nope. Guess what he put in the description? More meat than you can fit in your mouth. What? So, I'm going to a sausage party, I guess. $20 is $20. Before I came right out, I was taking a shower, and, because of the whole pants shitting thing. And it's weird now. A lot of hotels used to give you like little bottles of like shampoo, conditioner, body wash. But at the hotel we're staying at, there's a wire. It's almost like they have them behind lock and key so you can't steal them, but they're big bottles. So as I'm taking my shower, I pumped the shampoo, came out perfectly right in my hand, washed my hair. Then I went and got the body wash, pumped in my hand perfectly, body washed, especially back there because of Taco Bell. And then I went to go hit the conditioner, and instead of coming straight into my hand, it shot me and got me right in the fucking face. It got me in the eye. So ladies, I get it. That shit fucking sucks. I don't know how you'll do it. I bow to you. And even though I was in the shower, underwater, I literally was like, you got it in my hair! And I was, oh shit. I better not go to that sausage party. Because I wouldn't like it. Many years ago, I was in the United States Navy. I was stationed in San Diego, California. And thank you, one person, everybody else gonna fuck themselves. So, check your prints. And I was there in 1994. And the city of San Diego did something really cool, because this was not too long after Desert Storm. And if you wore your uniform to like SeaWorld, to Chargers games, which back then wasn't fucking hard to get into, even Disneyland, we go to Anaheim. So we took full advantage of it. We were all young, we didn't want to spend the money. So like every day after work, we would go somewhere. On the weekends, we had trips. So anyway, long story short, we also found out that we got into concerts for free. And we took full advantage of that shit. I saw so many concerts in 94, it was crazy. And then something happened in the middle of 1994 that changed my whole life. Because of what happened for 25 years plus, I would not go to a concert. And I'm going to share this story with you real quick, and I'm going to warn you, it gets a little dark, it gets a little confusing. It's kind of like the boat ride from the Willy Wonka movie. At the end, a fat kid dies in chocolate. So, in 1994, I went to a concert in La Jolla, California. At that concert, the headliner that night was Selena. I fell in love with her. I was going to learn Spanish and woo her. I didn't know how that shit worked back then. That never happened, obviously. But in my mind, a lot of shit happened. And a week later, after I saw her, and I had posters of her in the barracks, I was totally a Selena head. Buddy walked in and was like, hey man, you know that girl we saw last week, Selena? I was like, yeah. He's like, she was shot and killed. I was like, fuck. Told you it got dark. I'm surprised. So I was like, well, taking posters down now, because that's weird. But again, mind you, I was in the military, and we honestly were still under the threat of war with Iraq. I didn't put any more thought into it until a year later. 1 year later, for my birthday, my buddy got me concert tickets to go see Sublime, one of the greatest bands I've ever seen live. 1 week after I saw Sublime, Bradley Knowles, the lead singer, died of an overdose. And I said to myself, Holy shit, Billy, you're killing music. 25 years, I would not go to a concert. And this is how fucked up fate is. I could win concert tickets like that. But I don't know if you guys remember that we used to have to call into the shows and be like, yeah, I would sit there and listen and be like, what caller did they say? My buddy would be like 5. I was like, watch this. Ring, ring, I won. You want some fucking tickets? I'm not going to go to a concert. I don't want to be the one that kills the Foo Fighters. But my current wife put a kibosh on that shit quick. She was like, look, I love to support live music. You're going to stop that superstitious dumbass shit because we're going to go to concerts. And I was like, sure. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to go to the concert. I don't want to kill anybody. But I'll tell you this. Next year, 2023, we already have 7 concerts booked. Because I know now, which common sense should have told me, that I was not the reason those people died. And I know this because I saw Justin Bieber's ass 13 fucking times last year, and he's still walking the planet. My name is Bill Lazar. Thank you very much. You guys were awesome.